Hello, it's Doug from Behind Closed Doors, and today I'm going to be reacting to Anthony the Dream Johnson. It's quite a name, isn't it? Like, all these guys have got like a name like Rollo Tomassi and Mystery, and there's loads of guys that have kind of like pen names and pseudo-names, and David D'Angelo and all this kind of stuff. It's sort of like, I need to come up with one, I think, because I'm just Doug. Like, alright, it's Doug from Behind Closed Doors. People used to say that I look like Hank Moody, and now they say that I look like Assassin's Creed. So maybe Hank Creed or something like that, or Assassin's Moody, I don't know. But I actually like Doug, so I'm going to stick with Doug. And the title's called A United Manosphere. Again, the word manosphere, like the terminology is very interesting, isn't it? Because to me, when I think of the word manosphere, it sounds like a gay London nightclub. Anyway, enough of me judging names. Let's get on with the video and see what he's got to say. So, the United States of the Manosphere, I'm going to call this.
A united manosphere. This is a tweet from Coach Greg Adams, who you guys just met here at the convention.
Oh, actually, my last video was on Coach Greg Adams. Look at that.
I saw him tweet this pretty recently, about a week and a half ago. I thought it was fucking fantastic. It perfectly exemplifies what I believe and how I feel about this community. From Coach Greg.
Because I saw Anthony on This Morning, I think it was This Morning, or Great Britain, or something like that, Good Morning Britain. I don't usually watch the TV. As you can tell, I can't even recite the names. This whole video is going to be about names, I think, and how words are used to do linguistic martial arts. Hashtag me too. Hashtag go fuck yourself. Yeah, I saw him on the TV with Piers Morgan and that dickhead that's with him, talking about making women great again, taking the Trump slogan and turning it into something for the manosphere to focus on. And of course he was like, they attacked him constantly and all that kind of stuff. Oddly enough though, because Piers was like, oh, I love all women and all this kind of stuff, like he is no longer at that job because of Meghan Markle. So because he criticised her, so it's a strange turn of events. Would he want to make Meghan great again? Who knows? Was she ever great to begin with? Who knows?
My message to men in the manosphere: while we may see ourselves as different, superior, or inferior to the others, incel, MGTOW, MRA, PUA, red pill dating coaches.
Yeah, there's a lot of different areas of the manosphere, isn't there? So what have we got here? We've got incel. That's the involuntary celibates, if I'm correct in thinking. That's the guys that have difficulty getting laid. And to some extent, like, there are certain people that when they really can't get laid, they start going out and shooting people, which is never a good thing, is it? Then you've got the MGTOWs, which is men going their own way. And that's kind of like, I think that's where men like look at society and can see that it's all skewed in the woman's favour, and they think, fuck this shit, I'm off, and they just stay away from them and avoid cohabiting with them and you know, being around them and such, so that they don't get me too'd. MRA, what the hell is that? Sounds like the IRA, or the CIA. Oh, it must be men's rights activism or something, or activists or something like that. Yeah, I think that's just, you know, men wanting, again, a fair hand, I would say, like legally. PUA, that's the pickup artists, isn't it? That's like your Mystery and all that kind of stuff, where that derived from. Red pill, I think, when I think red pill, that's the kind of like Matrix analogy, isn't it? As like when people wake up from the social conditioning that they've had their whole life, and they realise that things aren't as they seem to be, and that the fabric of reality falls apart. But once the fabric of reality falls apart, you can then manipulate reality to your whim. But at first, it's very disconcerting, because it's sort of like everything that you believed up until now was a lie. Dating coaches, that's where you got like your John Anthony lifestyle and all that kind of stuff, ain't you? So yeah, there's quite a few different segments of the old manosphere, isn't there?
Most women and feminists see us as one and the same. To them, there is no difference.
The reason why things are in the state that they're in the first place is because of feminism. So who cares if feminists see men that way? All those different groups of men that way, because feminism arose, and then all this stuff, all these different areas of the manosphere arose to combat that, to equalise that. And that's where I think sometimes they can go a bit too far, in the same way that the feminists go too far. I think people have a lot of misconceptions about feminism. They think it's like a good thing. Feminism was set up to destroy the family home, to rip the family apart from one another, because they couldn't tax housewives. Now, if you get a woman out to work, you can tax the housewife. Now the child has to go into daycare, you can tax the childcare there. Also, once the children are in daycare, they're in the system a lot earlier, because then the school has hold of the children. So instead of being in the schooling system for a finite amount of time, they're in the schooling system from daycare right up until university. So they get indoctrinated about how to think from a very early age. So it was all about destroying the family home, taxing people, and taking away children's rights, because nobody really stands up for children. No, they don't have a voice. Feminism is, there's a lot I could say about it, but essentially feminism is a Trojan horse. It looks like a nice gift to society. Oh yeah, we should all be equal and everything. But inside, it's devastating. It's an infection, it's a virus, it's devastating to a society. And that's why the manosphere is like a grassroots reactionary force to the insidious nature of feminism.
Most women and feminists see us as one and the same. To them, there is no difference. None. With that in mind, men's issues are scheduled to never be resolved, when there are men holding on to superiority complexes. Women in government can sit to the side.
Yeah, that's a problem, because men are so competitive. So there's two problems here. The first one being groups. When you get a group of people, there are going to be certain people within the group who are going to want to take the group in different directions. So the group splits up. And I think that's why I believe there was a divide in the manosphere a little while back, and because they're going to compartmentalize into different groups, and so therefore they're no longer unified. There's nothing that unifies them. So that's just the nature of groups in general. And then on top of that, you're all men that are men's rights activists, although you get females doing it as well. But it is mostly a male community. So men are competitive. They're going to compete amongst each other. That's why feminism was so easy to assimilate, because women are much more agreeable. Successful men are much more disagreeable in their personality. So it's much more difficult to keep them together, unified. So there's two main things. One, the fact that they're competitive males, and the other one is the fact that they're forming into a group which is going to eventually divide into subsections.
And watch us bicker like bitches. And who's over getting the most peace leave? Because that apparently matters the most. Coach is pushing this. This is an excellent message of unifying, getting together, and stop this stupid bitching to the extent that we can. Conflict is normal. Some conflict. Some, not all. But this is excellent. And he's also getting the focus away, like he does in a lot of his videos, away from the peace leave, away from over-focusing on the pussy stuff, which the pickup artists for years were obsessed with. That doesn't mean they didn't contribute to this community. It doesn't mean they don't help men improve their social, dating, and sexual skills.
Yeah, let's just have a look at this a minute. So it'd be interesting to see which one happens first, wouldn't it? So I'd say it starts with being an incel or being red-pilled. They're the kind of base level things, aren't they? Or why don't women want to be with me? Why don't women find me attractive? And then when they look for answers, they find the red pill. And so that gives them a solution to their problem. And then from there, they can decide to go MGTOW, go their own way and just avoid women completely. Or they can go to PUAs, pickup artists, and dating coaches in order to try and improve their game. And the men's rights activists, I find, tend to be more the guys that have gone through the family court stuff. So that's kind of like a separate branch of the red pill. That's my kind of like overall kind of feel for it. I don't know how true this is of the topics. But again, it sounds very much like, you know, when you look at feminism, they say, well, that's first wave feminism, but then you've got second wave and third wave feminism. To me, it's just all feminism. And to me, these are just, it's not even a man's issue, it's the family issue. It shouldn't be about, that's why I don't like the term manosphere. Apart from the fact that it sounds weird as fuck, it's the fact that it's not about men, it's about children. Because there's no one speaking for children. It's not about men or women or children, it's about the family, it's about all of us. Because everyone gets devastated by what feminism does. So I don't think it's a men's rights issue. because feminism has destroyed as many women's lives as it has men's lives, like when you look at abortions and stuff like that, and unfulfilled careers and divorces and all the kind of shit that feminism encourages. Like, the family is the most important thing, and it's very important to get people in your family that you love, that you trust, that you support, and who support and trust you in return, and everyone respects one another. It's so important, and they've really fucked everything up with this whole I don't need a man, I can do whatever the fuck I like, I don't give a fuck about anything, I can do whatever. It's bullshit. There are differences between the sexes, and that's a good thing, and we should appreciate each other's differences and like work together to improve, you know, life in general.
Sexual skills, things like that. But this over-focus on it, just like when I expanded the focus of this conference, I called it for a long time a panoramic event for life on Earth as a man, because I want to help men and see them do better in every way. Their health, their fitness, dating, relationships, marriage, family, all these things, entrepreneurship, self-defense. We've had Navy SEALs speak at this conference, FBI agents, all kinds of cool shit. Because being a man is a unique experience, and there's a lot to it. It's not just getting your dick wet, or like with Coach Yo yesterday and his stuff. That's pretty funny. If you guys saw us talk, you got to go see that. This is a great tweet.
Yeah, I think improving your competence in all areas of your life will help each other areas of your life.
Coach has the right ideas and the right attitude. You know, this tweet didn't just come out of nowhere. This represents how he thinks about the community, and this is how a lot of guys need to think. Everyone, I think, approximately speaking, needs to look in this direction. Fundamentally, this is excellent. This is where we need to go and keep going. The new state of the manosphere.
But it's sort of like, are you going to get everybody to get on board with that? Because again, it goes back to the two issues I said that are going to be the main problems, is that men are competitive and egotistical. And when people are in groups, they tend to break off and form their own separate groups. Yeah, so that was Anthony the Dream Johnson, Making Women Great Again. I think that was more aimed at men. But yeah, I appreciate what Anthony's trying to do. And I think he also refers to himself as the president of the manosphere, so no disrespect to the calling out the name or the word manosphere, because I'm not a big fan of it. But I get what you're saying, and I think it's the intentions are there. And yeah, but it's going to be difficult to align. It's a bit like, you know, the film, what's it called? Avengers or something. The Avengers with Iron Man and the Hulk and Thor and all that kind of stuff. The first film is just getting all those characters into one room and not getting them to beat the shit out of each other and have a fight. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone's got on their own agenda, everyone's got their own purpose, everyone's on their own kind of journey. And to try and form them around one thing is very difficult, because even if you all agree at the same outcome, you've all got various different ways of getting there. And I think it's going to require a lot of dedication to leadership in order to get anything moving. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I like Anthony's stuff.